A while back I did a tutorial on something I call the sliding and vanishing knot. Now you can add several things to that that makes it a lot more interesting. But I start out with 2 ropes, and I usually have a couple kids examine the ropes, tell them to pull their hand along, pull on the rope, and see if they can tell me which one's the magic rope and which one's the regular rope. Whichever one they say is magic, that's the one I will tell, yes, you're right. I don't know how you figured that out, but that's right. I'll say I'm going to use the one that's not magic first. And you know when you have shoes with shoestrings and you tie them and you play during the day, sometimes one string will get caught through the loop and maybe even the other one gets caught through the loop. And then when you go to pull that to untie it, it just forms a knot. Then I hand it out and have the 2 kids pull on it, and sure they pull and it's a knot. So I said, now we'll use the magic rope. Make our shoestring. Okay. Now if I start to tighten that rope, now not only is it a sliding knot, but if I give a little massage, a little squeeze, it slides, but it also pops off the rope. Now this rope is solid. And we'll take our knot and just put it right back on there. Now how can we do that? Well, it's a carefully guarded secret that I'm going to tell you, and that is the top magicians are able to buy something called an invisible hole. You know, those like Lance Burton or David Copperfield, they can go in the magic shop and buy that, or myself. Only the top magicians are able to buy that. If you would go in there, ask for a visible hole, they would pretend like they didn't even know what you're talking about. They're trained to do that, because it is a guarded secret. And it's such a good gimmick that we have. In fact, I'll let you look at that with a magnifying glass. I hope you can't see the visible hole. It should be invisible. Okay, very good. Okay, now to demonstrate that a little further, we want to use something with a different color. So I'm going to use a silk to show how the invisible hole can work for other tricks. So we've got the invisible hole in the middle of the rope, and we'll just tie a knot here. Okay, now we got a knot tied on the rope, and can slide it one way, can slide it the other way. I want to get that right over that invisible hole, and when I do, the knot pops right through that hole, and the knot is there, it came right through the rope. Now, to demonstrate that just a little bit further, to make it even more difficult, we'll put a knot in the rope, and tie also a knot in the silk. We got a knot in the silk, a knot in the rope. Now what is interesting is I can slide that, I'll try to get this in the camera view here. What I do is, you can't see it with the camera, but I can slide this hole, the invisible hole, and the silk up So the hole moves and the silk moves, and we just give a little pull here, and as you can see, the knot is still in the silk and is penetrated through that invisible hole.